Chris Haynes, senior NBA insider, soon to launch Haynes Briefs YouTube show. Haynes Briefs. How about a round of applause for that, Chris Haynes? I like that. Haynes Briefs. Haynes Briefs. Haynes Briefs.
Talking about the Haynes report.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Of course. I remember that shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Haynes Brief Show here on YouTube. Again, thank you for everyone who has subscribed and been commenting and sharing. Thank you very much. I'm going to get right into it. I'm getting right into it because this is what you guys are here for. So, league sources informed me that the Milwaukee Bucks have made contact with superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. As we know, Giannis Antetokounmpo hasn't spoken to the Bucks since their first-round exit after losing to the Indiana Pacers. And so there's a lot going on around Giannis Antetokounmpo. What is he going to do moving forward? What decision does he have to make? And so I was told the Bucks made contact with Giannis Antetokounmpo early as this morning, and sources relate to me that a meeting is expected to be scheduled for mid next week. This is where Giannis is going to have the chance to speak with Bucks brass, John Horst, the general manager over there, and talk about the direction of the team. And there's a lot going on with the Bucks this offseason. You know, Bobby Portis, he has a player option. Brook Lopez, he's a free agent. Damian Lillard, likely out for a year with a torn Achilles. There's a lot going on. So this is going to be an opportunity for Giannis to see what the direction of the team is. And me knowing Giannis personally, you know, having a good pulse on him, man, he's one of the toughest competitors we have in this league. He's a guy who has great ambition, having won the championship already, but he wants multiple championships. I can say that I've spoken to him on numerous occasions. He wants multiple championships. That's all he wants to do, is be put in a position to where he can play alongside a team that has a chance to fight for a title. So in this meeting that is expected to occur next week in Milwaukee, the first time both sides will have had a meeting. And let me say this. There was no exit interview meeting for Giannis. From what I was told, the Bucks said, hey, you know, emotions are running high, you know, immediately after the loss. Let's just pivot to doing this down the road. And so there has been no communication from that point on till this morning, I was told. And so this meeting that's expected to occur in the middle of next week, this is going to be Giannis's time to tell the organization what he wants, what he desires, and also, most importantly, to listen to see what plans do the organization have. What do they plan on doing with Bobby Portis? What do they plan on doing with Brook Lopez? What are they planning on doing with Damian Lillard as far as getting a replacement? Is there anything that can be done in that aspect? So there are a lot of questions to be asked, and hopefully, I know for Bucks fans, they're hoping that the answers will suffice for Giannis. This is a guy who's spent his whole entire career as a member of the Milwaukee Bucks, 12 seasons, and he's one of the best players in this league, arguably the best, pound for pound, on both sides of the ball. So this is going to be a very, very crucial meeting next week. And there will be, I would expect when this meeting occurs, I would expect that we'll have further answers as far as what's going to happen from here shortly after that. Because again, all you need to come away with is, okay, what's the plan for next season? Okay, if we're going on a rebuild, then I don't know if a rebuild will be something that Giannis is up for, or even a retool. I don't know. You know, Giannis has 2 years remaining on his contract and then a player option after that. So for somebody who's 30 years old, how many more years does he have left in his prime? I know players are playing, superstar players are playing in a longer range right now, thanks for the medicine and guys taking care of their bodies. But, you have to be realistic in what your prime years are. And I think Giannis is looking into that, and it's going to be some tough conversations had. It's going to be, probably a tough decision either way on what's going to happen moving forward. But, the Milwaukee Bucks want to keep Giannis in the fold. This is the best, their best player in the franchise history. They want to keep him in the fold. And so, again, it's all going to be up to the plan, the strategy that the Bucks have in place to try to keep a championship caliber team on the floor. That's going to make sense for Giannis. So another thing I want to talk about, and when you're talking about Giannis and you're talking about other teams that's trying to, I guess, monitor the situation. That is definitely true. I'm not prepared to name some team names, but we know the teams that make sense out there. And so as of right now, there isn't anything of substantial that's worth reporting right now as far as other teams go. A lot is going to depend on that meeting next week, and after that, we'll see how it plays out from there. But Giannis definitely loves the city of Milwaukee, loves the organization. No love lost there. He dies for that team. He dies for that city. He loves it. He loves it. And it's very rare that you see players of his caliber, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, teams, players who love sticking with the fight, trying to make it through, with your team, with the team that drafted you. But this is a small market team, and people have always kind of held that against Giannis, thinking that, hey, it's only a matter of time before he bows out and tries to chase that championship dream elsewhere. He proved that wasn't the case. But at the same time, Giannis wants to compete for championships. He wants to continue competing for championships. One of the fiercest competitors I know in the league. So this is going to be a very interesting meeting next week. Again, just for backtrack for those probably catching the tail end, Giannis and the Bucks made contact with one another early Saturday morning, and the expectations is for them to meet up next week in Milwaukee to have a formal meeting about the direction of the organization, just to try to get some answers, get some questions answered. And it's going to be a very pivotal meeting, I should say, next week. And so that's all I have as of right now for Giannis and the Bucks. We'll see after that meeting how everything plays out and where both sides go from there. But as of right now, that's what we have. Very pivotal meeting. So again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chiming in the comments. Thank you for sharing. Also, get us on instant notification and be notified immediately when we drop new episodes. This is all on this episode of the Haynes Briefs Show here on YouTube. Thank you very much. Enjoy the conference finals. Take care.